Have you ever wondered if you could just, decide to be happy? Well, today we're diving into a pretty wild idea that suggests you have way more control over your feelings than you might think. It's all about this surprising two-way street between what we do and how we feel. So let's get right into it. All right, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. What comes first, the feeling of happiness or the actual smile on your face? Seriously, take a second. It seems like a super simple question, right? Like the answer should be obvious. And yeah, most of us, probably 99% of us would say, duh, the feeling comes first. You feel happy, and then you smile. You feel sad, so you start to slouch. It's just cause and effect. Our internal world creates our external expression. Simple. But what if that gut feeling, that intuitive answer, isn't the whole story? What if, in this really strange and powerful way, we've had the sequence completely backwards this whole time? What if the action actually comes first and the feeling follows? This is exactly where a fascinating idea called self-perception theory comes into play. A psychologist named Daryl Bem proposed something kind of revolutionary, that a lot of the time we don't really know how we feel deep down. Instead, we figure it out by watching what we ourselves are doing, almost like we're watching a stranger. So here's a cool way to think about it. Picture your brain as a detective. It's constantly on the case, trying to figure out your own internal state. But instead of looking for internal clues, it's looking at your actions. It's asking, okay, what's the body doing? What evidence is it giving me? The process is basically two simple steps. Step one, your brain observes your own behavior. It says, okay, I see my mouth is turned up at the corners. The cheeks are raised. That's a smile. Then, step two, it makes an inference. Well, if I'm smiling, I must be happy. It's a deduction based on action, not a direct feeling. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This is a really interesting idea, for sure. It's a cool theory. But is there any, actual proof? Or is this just some fun psychological thought experiment? Oh, you bet there is. Back in the 1970s, a psychologist named James Laird designed this incredibly clever experiment to put this whole idea to the test. See, he knew he couldn't just tell people, hey, smile, because that would totally give the game away. So instead, he told participants that he was just studying facial muscle activity. He gave them these really specific instructions like, contract these muscles here, or pull the corners of your mouth up towards your ears. He was secretly getting one group to make a smile and another to make a frown, and they had absolutely no idea. So these people are just sitting there, tensing their faces, thinking it's all about muscle tension. They're completely unaware that they're making emotional expressions. And when Laird asked them how they were feeling afterward, well, the result was a total shocker. The results were just wow. They were so clear. The group that was tricked into smiling reported feeling significantly happier. They even rated cartoons as being funnier than the group that was tricked into frowning. It was a huge difference. I mean, think about that. This was an incredible discovery. Their physical actions, even actions they weren't consciously choosing to do, were literally shaping their emotional state. The physical act of smiling was actually creating the feeling of happiness. So this experiment just completely flips our normal way of thinking on its head. We all walk around believing that feeling happy makes us smile. But what this shows is that the reverse can also be true. The act of smiling can actually make us feel happy. It's a two-way street. You've definitely heard that old saying, right? Fake it till you make it. Well, it turns out that's not just some piece of motivational fluff. There is real, hard science behind it. It is the perfect real-world example of self-perception theory in action. If you act the part, your brain takes the hint and starts to become the part. So how can you actually use this in your own life? It's pretty straightforward. Feeling a little down? Force yourself to hold a genuine smile for just 60 seconds. Feeling nervous before a big presentation? Go find a private corner and stand in a confident power pose for a couple of minutes. Your brain will see that confident posture and think, hey, wait a minute, I must be feeling pretty confident right now. So here's the really big takeaway, the most important point of all of this. We are not just passengers when it comes to our own emotions. Our bodies aren't just a screen displaying how we feel. They're also a keyboard. They're an input. Your actions are an incredibly powerful tool that you can use right now to actively shape your attitude and your state of mind. This isn't just some abstract theory. It's a practical tool you can start using every single day. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about.
What's one small physical action you could take right now to start feeling the way you want to feel?